Good evening, everyone, and I welcome you to our session 4. I can't believe we're already session 4. This time it went really fast. Today we will talk about a few things that are really important we will be connecting the dots because I talk about sugar, how it's harmful to our health. I was talking about insulin resistance, how it's linked to inflammation. I was talking about a little bit of those are just nuggets about the gut microbiome and about leaky gut, how that is linked to all these different aspects of health. And today I want to show you and tell you how really the eyes are not only windows to your soul, but really windows to your health. And me as an ophthalmologist, I never thought that I would be talking about food at some point. I never thought that I will be teaching this to you, but it was never intended because I thought I will always do cataract surgery, which I love to do. But I just couldn't help myself because I could see so many people around me make this transformation, and I said I have to help the world to heal too, because it's possible. If you have the simple action steps that you follow, everybody can do this. And I hope you get kind of a sense of this week. I hope everybody has the workbook. There you have a little bit as well, some tips on the pantry. You can create your meal plan. You can do some, and today some prepping. And today we have this session. We will talk about diabetes. We will talk about gut microbiome, how we are, it's just new frontier in medicine. It's something that we should be all excited because it will open up the door to new possibilities, how we can treat diseases in a completely new way. So I will tell you all about it tonight. But before we start, I will and let's see if we have time to do the sleep exercise, because there's one question I want to answer. We might touch it and then I will carry on tomorrow, but let's see how we are with time, because I want to really do it only 1 hour, because I feel that's the amount of time that kind of we can be all together and we can just kind of take it in. And so I will just check that everything works here on the, I hope you can hear me well. I hope so. Just let me know, because I don't see it here that I'm live. So today there was a question, what fat we should eat. And this is a huge chapter. I teach this in the program in really detail level, because next to sugar, it's bad oil. And actually, it's even worse. I tell you why. So the consuming a high amount of omega-6 is really strongly associated with a risk of heart disease. Omega-6 fatty acids are all the oils that are in seed oils. So it's canola oil, sunflower oil, corn oil, the soybean oil, all these oils. If you have them at home, please take them immediately to the bin. All these oils are really inflammatory, because imagine that every cell in the body, we have really a lot of cells. Every cell in the body, the membrane contains this type of fats. And so if you feeding your body with this really awful fat, then the body will be really inflamed. And so I want to just tell you what is the difference between omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. So omega-6, omega-3 fatty acids are called polyunsaturated fats because they have many double bonds. It's just from chemistry, maybe you remember from school. And our bodies, they don't have enzyme to produce them, these fatty acids, so we have to consume them from the diet. There is new science now showing that maybe these fatty acids are produced by our gut bugs, which is like, we didn't think this before, but let's see. Maybe there is some truth to that. So, but most important is to realize that today, most people eating a lot of omega-6 fatty acids. Every restaurant you go, they use canola oil. I'm sure here in America for sure. I'm sure as well in Europe, they use a lot of canola oil, just poor quality oil, because it's cheaper. Every place you go, the fast food, you will have as well these omega-6 fatty acids. So the consumption of the animal food that are high omega-3 is the lowest that has ever been. We never consume that low amount of omega-3 fatty acids as before. And that's why it's so important to realize this. And there is actually a ratio that is important. You can test it by a doctor, actually. I mean, you have to ask him, because maybe doctors doesn't know this, because, we don't, this is not material from medical school. I never learned this in medical school. I have to study by myself and really educate myself in functional medicine after medical school, after I became a specialized in ophthalmology. And so these omegas, but ask your doctor, because there is a test. You can test your ratio, and that will tell you what your ratio is like. So it should be really 2-1, 3-6. But at the moment, our ratio is like this, 19-1. We eat 19 times more omega-6 and omega-3. And that's why we all inflamed. That's another, some people saying that the fat is causing all the inflammation. One group of people saying that sugar is causing inflammation. I think it's everything together, because if you look, what we eat, it's bad fat. It's refined flour, which is like, it's gluten and sugar, and then a really bad dairy, because these cows, they don't eat grass anymore. I mean, here I have to go in a shop and look for grass fat. This is unheard of. It's really not what we should be eating, but there is a great way how to come out of it. So you learn here the knowledge. You have the knowledge what to do, so you can really just take the turn and you go your way to health. So how to do this and navigate with this omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids? You can test the ratio, and then because how we know this? So back in our ancestors, the hunters gatherers, they ate mostly land animal, and then they consume these fats, omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids, in this 2-1 ratio. For example, Inuits, they were consuming a lot of omega-3 because they were eating a lot of fish. A lot of, they all have this fish because they have nothing else. And that's why we know that it is essential to really have the ratio in the good numbers of this ratio. Otherwise, there is inflammation going on. But as I told you yesterday, we need inflammation. Inflammation is essential for our survival. If you cut your finger, we need inflammation to heal the the injury and heal the skin, so we don't like bleed to that. But what I'm talking about is this low grade chronic inflammation that we now find that it's all linked to all these diseases. So that is, Alzheimer is linked to inflammation, diabetes is linked to inflammation, cancer has some part of inflammation. So we now finding that chronic inflammation is probably one of the leading drivers of the most serious modern diseases. As I said, all these maybe as well, not maybe, for sure, the heart disease, metabolic syndrome, diabetes as well, arthritis, like any chronic diseases that you look at will have, we call it now inflammaging. And this is really important to really look back and say, okay, what is in my pantry? What can I just, step by, I'm not talking about some massive changes that like you say, oh my gosh, what I do now, this is overwhelming. No, you will just do little steps, because we always do this in stages, and people are ready for different things. Some people, they getting ready for this already for years, and now by doing this masterclass, they say, okay, I'm doing it now. Maybe some of you and they do some really great steps. Some of you maybe just finding as the first thing, and you need more time to kind of prepare your body and your mind, especially to do these steps, because people usually they worried, and they have fear how you feel, like what you will eat. But this is just things that take time, but I can tell you that every single person who will do this work will only can have better results that they start this journey. I can tell you that one study, it was a huge study. Okay, I'm now just skipping, so I will go back to the omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids, but I just want to tell you something now, because I didn't mention it yesterday, and it's very important to realize this, because diet don't work. Don't spend any penny on diet anymore, because it doesn't work. Like Whole30 is wonderful, all these diets are wonderful, but they don't work, because you do something for 1 month and then you stop. And so like Whole30 is 30 days, and what you will do day 31, what you will do day 32. So you have to create something that it will be change for you, that you will be happy to do, and this will be your future self. And I can tell you that there was a big study, that was, I think, 2019, and they took people who were obese. They took the microbiome, their gut microbiome, and as I told you, there is a microbiome from obese person is very specific, and then the gut microbiome from the lean person is very specific. And so there is this ratio, let's see, one bacteria are green, one bacteria are red. So, and those are the Firmicutes and Bacteroides. And if you can imagine, with the obese, let's first the lean person, the Firmicutes Bacteroides ratio is 3:1. So, sorry, 1:3. So we have more of this Firmicutes, but not much, like only 3 times more. And that's how lean person gut microbiome is like really basically works well, creates health, doesn't create inflammation. Compared to this situation when we have obese person, and obese people, as we found from science, they have this ratio 1:30. They have so much of these other bacteria, the Firmicutes. And why is it important? Because it goes like this. You eat, okay, I tell you a scenario of lean person. Lean person eats carrot or eats parsnip baked in the oven, which is delicious, by the way. If you bake parsnips and carrot in the oven, with olive oil for 20 minutes, delicious. So a lean person eats carrot or parsnips. It goes down. We take all the vitamins, minerals, all the carbohydrates, the sugar, and because that's always we eat some sugar always. And then there is a fiber, because every vegetable and fruit has a fiber. And we as humans, we cannot really digest the fiber. But this fiber, so when it goes now, here's the stomach, and it goes down, and it goes in this intestine, and it goes to the colon. Somewhere there in the colon, there are a lot of bacteria. We have around, I think, 2 pounds of, I don't want to be, I don't like to throw the numbers there, because it might change today, but I remember it was 2 pounds of bacteria we have in our gut, in our colon. And these bacteria, they will take the fiber, they will chew it up, the good bacteria. And then, no, okay. Good night, my dear. Good night. Good night. So there is a show, so yeah, what can I say? I'm home. So now I lost my thought. Yeah, I know. So these so you eat a carrot. The lean person eats the carrot or any vegetables, all these prebiotic food that I was talking yesterday, the artichokes, the asparagus. So you eat this vegetable, and then the fiber will end up in the colon, and then all these bacteria are waiting there, the good ones, and they will chew the fiber, and then they will create the bacteria, they will create metabolites that will be so beneficial to our health, to everything. These metabolites cause short chain fatty acids. Those are either butyrate. You don't need to know all these names, but just remember why your doctor tells you eat less. Well, does make sense, but anyway, that's the thing that we say to our patients in 30 seconds: eat less, exercise more. But eat less of refined carbs, but eat more of vegetables. Because there are these studies, what I wanted to show you, that so they took these people and they start feeding this food with the obese person. So they stop eating all the sugar, they stop eating all the gluten, and all the refined carbohydrates, and they will start eating more vegetables. Ideally, it's 7 servings a day. It might, if you don't eat any vegetables, or maybe you have 4 that you're rotating all week, it might be overwhelming. But trust me, it is very possible to get into that stage when you will have so much vegetables. You just create it in a way that will be just easy. Trust me, it's just it's very possible. And so what I want to tell you, that with these people, they will start eating all these vegetables, and they start growing all these better bacteria, because the bad bacteria was starving. They didn't have this sugar that they thrive after. They didn't have this refined carbohydrates. They didn't have the refined sugar. They didn't have all these bad things that they are thriving. And these people were able to re-establish the gut microbiome in 1 year to the lean person. And if how anecdotal it is, but this is my case as well. So I was always carrying gut microbiome from obese person. I got tested, and I know that it's always kind of on the line, but I know that if I eat vegetables, it's working. I can tell you from my experience as well. It's just the weight is just made. It's easy to maintain weight if you have good bacteria, and it's very difficult to maintain weight if you have really these more of the bad bacteria. That's why sometimes when people join me in my program, and this program is for 7 months, because I think that people have to really cement the habits, and 1 year it will be too much. I think nobody will sign up. So I decided to do 7 months, and I can see that people already have, after 2 months, they have really like kind of these breakthroughs. But you have to really feed the gut longer, so you will really establish the good bacteria that we need so much, because all these good bacteria, I'm telling you, will create all this. And this is a science. I'm translating you the science that we know. And so this was the story about, how, I wanted to tell you why I was talking about people in programs. So sometimes some people, they have difficulty to lose weight in the beginning. And I always say, just wait, because if you have the bad bacteria, it takes time before you, rebalance this, because it's not art to lose weight. It's easy to lose weight, but it's art to lose weight correct way, because you don't want to lose your muscles. We need this, these gluteus, because this glutes, because when we age, we need this big muscle so we can stand up from the chair. We can walk, and when we fall down, we don't break all our bones that we have. And so this is really important. So if you listen now and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's just a journey that will take some time if you want to do it correctly. And this is not only, last masterclass we were focusing on weight. This masterclass we're focusing on spring food. And about on the vegetables, on the food. And so today I just want to remind you that just start slow. Like really just try to maybe go next time to the shop where they're selling some produce, or the best is farmers market. Go to farmers market and choose some 1 or 2 vegetables that you never ate before. Ask me or Google it, what can I cook? I will be happy to provide you some tips on recipes. If you tell me, I bought this today, what can I cook? I can tell you like this recipes, because, this is my, so I don't cook. It was the hardest bit to create all these programs, because I don't cook from the recipes. I just cook like from head. So, but all the recipes that I created, they properly measured and all that. But I can always tell you, if you are in this group, you can always come back and we can talk about it. So that was the kind of diversion to this gut microbiome, which we talked today anyway. And I just want you to understand, like, why you're having these vegetables. It's not because it's like the we always used to have it, but it's not that you have to be like a rabbit. It's because you are really feeding your gut bacteria that are running everything in your body. It will influence your mood, it will influence how your skin looks, it will influence how your weight will be, how inflammation will be, everything, really everything. And as well, it links to the eye. And this is something, that's why we're talking about it today, gut and the eye. And this is something that it's a lot of research needs to be done. But I can tell you today that there has been science done that they show that when all these age-related macular degeneration, for example, they did AMD, as we call. Now people are much earlier affected with disease than before. Before this disease didn't exist, and the science is showing us that it's from the sugary food, it's from the bad oils food. So this is really significant, and we can do something to change. There are some kind of vitamins for the eye, but I want to tell you today that what the science is showing us, that if they had experiments on mice, and they put really bad a bad diet like this, what I told you, this we call the Western diet, to this mouse, and the mouse created this age-related macular degeneration, and then they with this mouse they start feeding it to the mouse food, and they were able to kind of reverse this disease. So this is incredible if we can do so much just with the diet, which we know from other studies as well. So I just want to encourage you that even the science is not clear, and it's so much of question mark. Something is working if we are putting good fuel in the body, because we can just, if we heal it here, it will heal everywhere else, because as Hippocrates said, all diseases begins in the gut. And so this is something to realize. And as we talk today with the eyes, we know that there is link with uveitis. So if someone of you suffering with uveitis, I'm sure there will be something that I will dive down deep into this subject, and really how you can improve the gut microbiome and the leaky gut that I was talking about yesterday. That would be something that I would definitely, there is a link already we could see. As well, the age-related macular degeneration and the diabetes. There is probably, we don't know how does it work, but we know that with the diabetes, maybe I talk about it a little bit later. I just maybe tell you now the rest of what I want to tell you about the fat. So I was starting to yeah, today is like everything, sorry. So the oils. So I told you about the ratio. You can test it with the doctor. And we know that these oils, technology of processing this oil didn't exist until 100 years ago. So that's another thing that we know we didn't have. So people, we didn't have time to genetically adapt to this amount of omega-6. And so it's clear that it doesn't really suit us. And so simple tip would be eat more omega-3 and less omega-6. So what are good omega-3? So best source is fish, like mackerel, herring, the salmon, cod liver oil, anchovies, sardines. So with the fish, I would go. I don't know if you see the documentary. It's really very sad what's happening in our oceans. But if you can have some wild caught fish from your fisherman somewhere, if you live on the coast, this is the best what you can do for yourself. And I would go for smash, SMACH. So it's sardines, is mackerel, it's anchovies, herring, and sardines. helps. Salmon, sardines, yes. So those are the safe one to eat. People are having a lot of sushi, a lot of tuna. Unfortunately, these big fishes, they are contaminated with mercury, so it's not a really good idea. And so always think of smash. And omega-6. So omega-6 are the cheap vegetable oils that are everywhere. Even in a chocolate, this soya lecithin is in every chocolate. Even Lind, unfortunately, is using soya lecithin. But the big ones are the sunflower, corn, soya bean, cottonseed oil. All these oils they are high in omega-6 and really can create inflammation. It's much better to use, for example, butter, coconut oil or lard, and olive oil because they still have omega-6, but we still need some omega-6, but not these amounts that the other oils really just have. So you can consume them. But the soybean oil is currently the biggest source of omega-6 fatty acids here in US because it's really cheap, and it's found in all sorts of processed food. It's almost in everything. So always check the label. That's why the first day we were checking the gluten, or basically you have to check for when I go to the shop. I go like this. So if it's not the produce, of course, that's the majority of my shopping is the vegetables. Some shops, they always complain, you have so much produce. Well, I do. And then some shops it's impossible to buy anything because every packaging I look, it's all chemicals. And so yeah, it's very unfortunate because it can be so easy, but it's just so they want to do it cheap, and it's just they put chemicals that increase the shelf kind of that it stays longer in shelf. So I'm looking. I tell you brief tips on how to read labels. So you have the packaging. Let's say tortilla or bread. Bread is easy. Bread. If you want to make bread, you take flour, water, and salt. 3 ingredients. Okay. If you have these 3 ingredients on the bread, you can buy that. And the ideal if it's not in plastic, but yeah, today everything is plastic, so okay, that's fine. Ideal is really to buy bread somewhere from bakery or some farm. And what you don't want to buy is bread that if you turn it around, it's like amount of things that is on the bread is from the whole, like from the whole on the whole page, on the whole packaging. So it's like 20 ingredients that you don't understand what they are because they're in Latin, and it's full of things that you don't want to have in your body. It's not only sugar, but it's bad oil and really a lot of chemicals that just the chemicals are doing this to your body, to your gut lining. They're destroying the gut lining. We know that from science already. All these emulsifiers that kids have, even, I really don't want to buy this snack for my kids, but I mean, I have to sometimes because otherwise they will be like outsiders in school. But it's just so unfortunate because if I look at the packaging and I see all these, like these oils are in everything, just have a look. So that's the first thing. I scan the label, and I will see there is no chemicals. That's the first thing. If it has nuts, or maybe if it has let's see what it can have. So dates, oats, almonds, it's fine to buy. You can buy that if it's like some oatmeal or muesli bar or something. But if it has like ingredients again that are chemicals and more than 5, I would not really consume this, because this will just be another little thing to your gut health. And if you have this all the time, you can really damage your gut. And if your gut is damaged, the whole body can be inflamed, because you always activating the immune system. As I told you yesterday, when things go through the damaged barrier to the blood, the body is protecting you and creating all these there are the cells, dendritic cells, waiting there with they have these all long hands that go here, and they checking. It's like we even don't know all these biochemical uh, uh, reaction what goes there, but what we know now, it shows that the dendritic cells, they go and they test what's in there, and then if something goes through that should not be there, the body really creates huge inflammation, and that's why it's so many people inflamed, so many people have aches and pain, because we just doing it all wrong. And so this is what I wanted to tell you about the fat. It was not planned, but I think it's really important to have a look. There, some fish, if you don't eat fish, there as well, you can have seaweed, you can have chia seeds, you can have flax seeds, you can have walnuts. They are, I don't want to tell you the other, the EPI, DHA, and ALA. It's we would lose too much time, but just hemp seeds as well are great. So there's as well, sources that are plant based. So this was really important, I think. And now I just check the messages, if something is going on here. Oh, let's see. Oh, Joanna is here. Yay! Hi, Joanna. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, you can hear. Okay, good. Oh, thank you, Nicole. It's great. Inflammaging, yes, that's a serious thing. You'll hear more and more. Okay, I love it. Kids are part of life. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, yeah, correct. All right. The facts that bread was so the what? The facts that bread lasts forever. Yes, no, exactly. Another reason why you don't want to have things that just stay forever. You want things that they go moldy next day, and this is the food that you want to eat. Joanna saying making soft sourdough bread. It's so easy. Yes, great. I know it's lovely, right? Wonderful. Okay, so I think we can now go. I hope I answered the question for you in kind of, yeah, I hope it was helpful, because really the sugar is one thing, but next to it is the oil, and I think the oil is really, it's really detrimental for our health. So really bad. So now, I just tell you my perspective, how it not no my perspective, how why we're doing this, and how it goes if it's how, because okay, start again. I have seen many people go blind from diabetes as ophthalmologist, and oh, I will cry again. I don't want to cry again, but it makes me so upset, because it doesn't need to be that way. It goes like this. People go blind from diabetes because the diabetes progressed to that level that affects the eye, affects the liver, it affects everything in the body, because the sugar goes up and down all the time. The people develop all these kind of end. This is the end result of disease, and they go blind because the vessels in the eye are so, the vasculature is so fine, and if the changes is happening in the macula, in the center of vision, this is when people lose sight. And so if you work upstream, so if you have this patient that goes blind, and if you look back how that happened, you will realize that we can do so much by ourselves. And that's why I'm here, and that's why I want to really put a seed in your life to pause and see, okay, where I will walk now. Because if you have this progressed diabetes, and if you look back 10 years or 20 years, it depends who it is, because we don't have this progression, we don't go sick in the same pace. And so if you look to this patient, let's say 10 years ago, they would have maybe really a full-blown diabetes. And if you look another 10 years ago back, you will see maybe they were diagnosed with diabetes. And when you look back 10 years, you will see that this was when they start, they would not be able to lose weight. They would not be able to feel good because they have insulin resistance, they have pre-diabetes, and they didn't know it for a long time. So you see how it goes. So we eat all this food, we live very unhealthy lifestyle, we don't move enough, we are all the time stressed, we don't sleep enough, or if we sleep, is really poor quality. So all this bucket of lifestyle, and then we eat all this really wrong food, and then the body will just like will develop insulin resistance. And if we ignore it, or if the doctor tells you, well, you have insulin resistance, here is your tablet, and you don't change your diet, there is a certain percentage of people that develop diabetes, and there is a certain percentage of people that they develop this they progress, and they will develop and damage. For example, in my case, I want to tell you, is the eye. And that's why I'm talking to you now, because I could never do that in my practice in as an eye doctor, because those people that I need to talk to, that was the fastest appointment, because they have nothing in the eyes, they were pre-diabetic, they just need to lose weight. And the appointment went like this. So we took a picture, and there was nothing in the back of the eye, and we would say, oh yeah, you don't have diabetes yet in your eye, so come next year again. And I'm not criticizing anything, but I just want to make it better, because this is not how we should be doing it. And we don't have time in the medical practices. If I go back to hospital next year, I would not have time to do this, because it's like it's 20 minutes appointment, and that's it. But here I want to tell you that you can do so much more. And what you will do, you will do that what you learned this week. And you just do little steps. You will look. Actually, I will talk about tomorrow the circle of life. I can touch about it tomorrow. You just pause, and you see, okay, so what can I improve this week? What can I improve today? What can I improve now? Like now, if you're snacking something, you say, okay, I don't snack for another hour. And then you go to sleep maybe, and you don't snack another night, and then before you know it, you don't snack the whole week, and you just break this habit. And this is where the magic is. It's nothing will happen if you just do everything for 1 week, or you have a diet for 3 weeks, you lose weight. But then we can't just following all the time some kind of diets, because it's not sustainable. You have to create something that will really be pleasant for you, and you will look forward to eating these meals. Because I had some I don't know, where was it, I was meeting with someone. Oh yeah, I know. I was meeting someone in Princeton here, and there was a lady, and we were just talking about, because we were taking pictures of food, and she was helping us. She said, I never know how to eat these vegetables, because she never eats any vegetables. So I do understand, for someone who is like eating all these, as I call it, beige diet, as I was eating it all my life, the croissant, the pizza and pasta, it can be overwhelming. If I tell you now that we should be eating 7 servings of vegetables, like what? And it should be 30 different ones during the week. What? So, but I just want to tell you that this is not, you don't need to do this within this week. You don't need to do it in 1 month. You can, as I told you, this study that I was telling you was 1 year. In 1 year, people were able to create, we can really recreate the gut microbiome completely. We cannot just like if you are Japanese, you have certain kind of bugs, because they have bacteria that have to eating the seaweed. If you are Inuit in the Greenland, you have different bacteria, because you're eating all these raw fish. And if you eat somewhere in the south, where you eat only even now, this hadza in Tanzania, they have different bacteria than we do, because they eat all these plant food, and we should be like them, really, because they are healthy. They don't have these diseases that we have. They don't have heart disease, they don't have diabetes, because they moving because they are eating all these, plant. The majority of this is plant-based, and so this is something that we can think about it. So today I just want to, especially for someone who is pre-diabetic here and who is really kind of who has you can change your life. And I'm telling you seriously, because I've seen it with my own eyes. When people were able to stop medication, they were able to take down the tablets for blood pressure. They were able to stop eating tablets for high cholesterol, because the cholesterol just improved. So it's in your hands. It's in your hands. It's not anymore the genes. We cannot have these excuses. And so I just want to just explain. I don't have my eye today. I forgot. But just why we're talking about this sugar, because in simple term, when the blood sugar levels rise, the small blood vessels in the retina, in the eye, will get damaged. And not only in the retina, it can be anywhere in the body. It can be in kidneys. It can be anywhere, because we have these vessels everywhere in our body. So always think that if you have this burst of sugar, somewhere is something happening. And that's why it's really so important to really pause and do some work here, that you don't damaging your body. And we can do that. You can do that. I believe you. I believe you can do that. And that's the belief is big, because people usually, there are these phases, the stages that you, from contemplation to, oh, thank you, my dear. Okay, my daughter brought the eye so I can show the retina. There are stages when people are kind of getting ready for this work. So from just can be small step. Maybe just buy new shoes that you can walk longer, or just buy some nice can for the tea, so you stop the snacking at the evening. Or maybe it can be just one little thing that can just bring you so much of joy, and you feel so you can trust me that you will be so proud of yourself when you do this little change. And so this is the eye. I can show you. Okay, so this is so this is like this. Okay, this is the iris. And oh thank you, my dear. And so this is the oopsie, this is the lens. This is the lens. This is when actually I have as well people when they did when I worked with them one-to-one, and they were with me 6 months to 1 year. They were telling me, I didn't measure it because we just did it a kind of, it was health coaching, so I didn't measure their vision. But they were telling me that the vision was getting better when they changed the diet, when they lost weight. And it's very much possible, because we know that diabetics, they will develop a cataract much earlier in the age in life than just people who don't have diabetes. Because every single time these lens will get the strings that are inside will always restructure, and they will change when there is a sugar spike. And so think about it, that you're really damaging everything when the sugar spike in the body, we damage really everything. I can't it's just so bad. And so but it's good, because you know what to do. Just step by step take it off of your meals. So this is the cutter, this is the lens, and this is the vitreous, that when people have a floaters, they basically inside. And this is the retina. Basically the retina is such a it's very specific tissue, because it's very good indicator of nutrition and health, because it has so much vasculature, so we can tell really what's happening in the body. And when very unfortunate is when people 80% of people who has pre-diabetes, they don't know that they have pre-diabetes. 80%. So again, we back to this number 35 not centimeters but inches. If you have 35 inches, go to the doctor and check your blood sugar. Not only blood sugar, check your fasting insulin as well. Do that, because you will be happy to have these numbers and do something about it. So this is retina. We can see if you go and as well, people who have diabetes, they don't go to ophthalmologists so often, and so then because it should be always once a year, really very comprehensive examination of the back of the eye, and majority, no, 60%, they don't do that, and then they come back and they have changes everywhere in the eye. And the thing is that if you have changes everywhere in the eye and it's not in macula, your vision will never deteriorate. And the problem is that sometimes people develop changes in the macula, even they don't have really serious diabetes, and they lose their vision. So we don't want to play with diabetes, because it's really it's serious disease and it's affecting the whole body. The eye is only place when we can see the nerve. This is the nerve, the optic nerve that goes in the head. We can see with the eye, with the lens, and we can see the vessel. So that's why vessels, that's why it's so important to really go for checkups, and it's really important to really be serious about your health, because it's a leading cause of blindness among US working adults aged 20 to 74. It's really serious. And not only that, people should really check the how you can prevent it is with the work that we're doing here, that you will really shift kind of your way how you eat, but as well you manage your blood sugar and blood pressure, and then you do the screening. And this is where the magic is, because if you change one thing, the other will just be easier to do as well. And that's why kind of we call it healthy lifestyle and healthy diet, and that's why it goes all together. We know from science that if you people who go to the gym and then go to food, they will make a better decision about the food than people who just came from cinema. They go for the chocolate bar, or they probably, if they go from cinema, they're probably full of popcorn. But we know from studies that this decision, and maybe the gut bacteria as well creates this kind of feeling what you have, because I think I read somewhere a study that this can be possible as well. But as I told you before, the insulin resistance will create the cravings, and then if you follow it again, you have the cookie, you fueling the insulin resistance, and then your sleep will be disturbed. You will be most likely lazy to exercise, and so on. So it's a vicious cycle that we have to just break. And so if you need any kind of help and support, I'm again telling you that you can schedule 15 minutes short, 15 minutes call with me. I can navigate you, because this is kind of general. I can navigate you what I think will be fast, that you can just springboard to the to a better life, because this is something that I think we should really be focusing on, because it's not, I always in the medical school we were taught that I thought I know your body better than you, but it's not true. I become so much more humble when I've seen more. I know that what I don't know and what we don't know, because we really just discovering the new field of medicine, that it's just we scratching the surface still. The science of gut microbiome is huge, and this is really a future, I think. So I hope you have any questions. I will try to have a look what's happening in the chat. If you have any questions, let me see. But I don't see. Wait, I have to. Oh, sorry about that. So ask me anything, please. Also, anybody here did any of the homework? Anybody found something in the pantry? Just put it in the chat. Let me know if you found something, because that will be really great to so we can really celebrate you. So how come I don't see myself go here? Okay. Oh, I see that. Okay, good. So So I don't see any more questions. So if you have any questions, please tell me. That's why I'm here. Yeah, okay, that's good. I don't want to miss anything. I want to here are questions all from YouTube, and there is nothing. Okay, good. So last thing I want to just quickly, because we want to talk about the sleep and the vision and so on. I want to quickly just give you really quick a few words about circadian rhythm. This is something that we never thought that this is new science, and just to give you some thought about this is easy to explain. Is that we I think it was around 2002 something a year like that, we the scientists develop or discovered that we have special cells in the eye that can recognize if the light is coming from the north, from the top, or the light is coming from the bottom, from the low. And these cells are really so specific because they will give information to the brain if it's day or night. So how amazing. So now the light is shining on me, and I know because the light is shining on me at these evening hours, I will have difficulty to sleep. But I can't do it otherwise, because you will not see me at all because it's dark. And you can see that with babies as well. If you have newborn or if you have babies and you put all the ceiling light on, the baby will never fall asleep, because the brain is still kind of, oh, it's still day. We still can do some fun. And that's why I see it so many times that people have sleeping issue, because they go to the bathroom, they put the lights on, and here we go, the melatonin production will just shut down, and then the cortisol will go up, because there is a light dark cycle that is generated in the brain, and that drives the production of the pineal gland to produce melatonin. And melatonin, when it's secreted, it's either suppressed or synchronized by light. And so if we sleeping and it's dark, the melatonin is really produced. That's why at the evening the best is when we don't look at the phone and we read a book, and then the melatonin slowly can really the level can go high, and then we can just happily fall asleep and then sleep all night, and then we can wake up in the morning when its sun is out. Unfortunately, many people, they wake up at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and then the first thing they look, it's either look at the phone or put the lights on, and then that's the moment when. So please, if you do that, please don't ever do it again. Don't put the lights. Even if I have a phone at night, I really look it. I shine the light somewhere else. Even I blocked my blue light. I don't shine it to my eye, because I know it will really influence my melatonin production, and it's super important so we can have good night sleep. It's important not only for good night sleep, but it's important for many physiological function, such as this sleep wake patterns. The melatonin influence the immune defense function, such as the blood glucose regulation as well, how the enzyme will be produced, the bone metabolism, the cell multiplication. It's just influence so many things. So I just want to give you a little tip, that if it happens that you wake up at night, don't look at your phone, and really don't put any lights on, because this will really completely mess your sleep wake pattern. And in the morning, it's good, because in the morning the first thing we should be doing is really going outside and see the light, because this is when we wake up. And of course, sometimes it's not possible because we have things to do, but I would like to encourage you to really make effort and try to pick out the people who have dog, have this have these routines to going out every morning because they have to, and this is good because you see the light. The light will go to the brain, to the eye, and the information will go to the brain, and from the brain will go to the whole body, because every cell in the body has a clock. And so this is very simplistically, so this is very simple explanation how it works and how our eyes are super important in this. But actually, we have these receptors for light all over our body. They had some experiment. They shine light on the legs, and we still we could still kind of feel that they could still see the signal from the light. So yeah, if you can go in the morning to and have some very light information to your eyes, as safe as you can, this will be something that will really improve your sleeping pattern as well at night, because really the sleep is a reflection of the day. That's how it goes. Of course, never look straight to the sun, because that you can damage your retina, but always try to this will wake you up, and this will really will balance the cortisol and melatonin production. And at the evening, really try to not have any light from 11 p.m. until 4 a.m. This is something that I would tell you. I can go on and on about this because this is so exciting for me, because it's new science, and this is something that we really we live so out of sync with our how the planet rotates, and so sun goes up and down because we have electricity and all. So this is something as well I wanted to mention today as we're talking about eyes. And so what we were talking today about was about the gas microbiome. This is linked to everything that we talked before. And this is the journey. These changes will not happen in 1 week. This will not happen on a diet in 2 months. This is the journey you have to take to really just take step by step and make it better and better. The study is showing that the 12 months that people can really change completely gut microbiome. So if it's something, if you want to lose weight, if you want to change your life upside down and really be healthier, you have to count about 1 year, because this is where really we know that people then are confident and they just have. I have one client, and she texted me that she found in her winter jacket, she found a shopping list from year before. And she said, I was shocked what I was eating, like what was on that paper for shopping. She said, oh my gosh, I eat completely different food. And so this is just, I'm so happy about what I'm doing. It makes me so happy. So as well this week, I don't know, maybe you saw it on social media. One of my current client who joined the program 2 months ago, she lost 30 pounds, and she said that her life changed. And because you know why she succeeded? Because she was serious about herself, and she believed she can do that, and she just took the first step to this, and I'm so proud of her. And so I just want to inspire you that really this is real. This is not some kind of fairy tales or something that it's just you do it yourself. And because it's I can give you all the tools that this week, but you have to do the work. And so the first thing is, of course, the knowledge is power, but the second is the implementation, and that what we have to do. I always compare it with yoga. So yoga, if you have bookshelf full of yoga and you don't practice yoga at all, you will not know how to do yoga. You will have you will know maybe all the nomenclature and terminology and all that, but you will not have the feeling. How does it feel if the body when you don't practice yoga? Okay, so this was the day. it was kind of everything, kind of mishmash, but I think it was powerful because there are so important things that we can really do today. Um, so today homework was, I know that we about the exercise, we will talk tomorrow as well about the sleep. So tune in tomorrow, and tomorrow I will give you the simple but proven method that I use in this 7 months program. So come back tomorrow because I will tell you step by step how is it done, so you can do it by yourself. And for those who are serious, we will be opening a new class in 2 weeks' time. So if you want to know more information, just let me know and I can give you that. But today, the homework was that the journal. Maybe if you don't have the journal, let me know and I will send it to you, because it's really important. This is where the magic happens. When you will start to write everything down, you will know where your weak points are. So for example, I tell you my example. That's I always can easier to start. I was writing the journal, and I thought I'm doing fine. I'm eating this food now instead of this veg diet. I was making efforts to eat all these vegetables, and actually it's actually very tasty. I love it, and so I was doing all that, and I'm still kind of, because I was healing the rosacea, which is different. It's easy to lose weight, but it's much. It's, yeah, I mean, it's not much difficult, but you have to kind of wait a little bit longer for the switch when the healing can kick. And so I was getting better, but it was still there. And then I was doing this journal, and I realized that because in the journal there is a food. So when you drink, what you eat, there is also how much your bowel movement you have. I can send you. Please let me know in comment who needs journal. Just say J, and we will send it to you. And then is as well how much stress you have, which is homework for today, because that makes us eat. And then as well sleep, and how you meditate. It's all there. And so I was really kind of, I didn't do it properly to sleep, because I was just like, oh, you know how it goes. Every day you're busy, you have too much to-do list. But I really make sure I was writing the hours. And then I realized that my sleep was really short. And only, I think, I know it anyway, but when you see then the numbers, and the numbers are really low, like sometimes half, then 8, and then it's 6, and it's again 4, and it's like, oh wow, I have to do something. So this I want to tell you. I'm not telling you this because it's good to journal. I'm telling you this because you will find new things. You discover yourself again and again, because we are so ingrained in our daily habits and our routine that we don't see actually what we're doing wrong. And this is something that it's like, it's just wonderful. So today, if you can, not today, but something to think about is to really make notes, or you don't need to do it in this journal. Just make note in a phone or something when you're stressed, because you will see there is a link with either how your body feels or how much more you eat. Today I was talking with one lady, because I was just talking about other stuff, but she asked me, what do you do? Because she saw this thing here in my house. I said, what I do? And she said, oh, this is wonderful. Yes, I have diverticulitis, and I can see that when I'm stressed, it flares up. I said, yeah, that's very possible. So the stress, because I told you yesterday, I will speak more about stress tomorrow. I will talk more about stress tomorrow. It raises the cortisol, and then all the cascade of a cellular pathway goes inflammation in the body. So yes, stress is wonderful when lion is chasing you. So you have to really suddenly run like much faster than you usually run. But we don't have this stress anymore. We have stress because we didn't do what we're supposed to be doing, or so all it's different kind of stress that it's really detrimental for our health. So this, I want to encourage you today to see if there is a connection, because I can guarantee you there will be connection, because it always is. That I don't know any person who can thrive from stress. Honestly, I didn't meet that person yet. So this is something for today. And tomorrow, as I say, I will be sharing with you the method, which is define, replace, rebalance, and nourish. It always works. If people do the work, it always works. Of course, sometimes people start and then something happen, and but then when they jump on the train again, it always works. So I want to share this with you tomorrow, so you can apply it to your life as well, because that's what I want for you. I want that we all can have smile on our face because we feel good in our body. And I didn't feel good for a long time because I have this disease, and then I was able to do it with this that I'm teaching you. And that was why I opened this company with health coaching, and that I can teach the other people like you to do that, because I was never have time as a doctor to talk about it in the daily practice. So so tomorrow we will be again here at 8:00. Tomorrow I will be calling from the airport, because that's what just happened. So but I will be calling from the airport. I will be there telling you about the proven method that always works. So I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow. Please, if you have any questions, if you look at the replay, let me know. I will be happy to answer it. Tomorrow I can do extra video and just we can do it here. Take care of yourself and good night.